on. You're toast.
Okay, so I know it's been a really long time since I've done this, but I have a good reason. So I have a new puppy, and it's been really hard trying to manage just doing all this YouTube video stuff and having the puppy, and now I've finally figured something out, so hopefully I can do this more often. Anyway, I also tried doing a Let's Play of Sonic Generations, but no one really cared. That's the thing with YouTube, it's very unpredictable. I have no idea what to do with my channel, so I'm just gonna make videos like this and some Yandere Simulator, I guess. Anyway, so this is officially a thing. Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy, is coming out in September this year, and I think this is really, really cool. For those of you who don't know, I am a Spyro fan. I really like Spyro, and I even liked the reboot of Spyro called The Legend of Spyro. But this isn't about that. This is about the original Spyro games being remade in beautiful, beautiful high definition on the Unreal Engine 4, and it looks really cool. I do have some concerns, like with Nestor the Dragon looking lame with his stupid hat, but whatever, you know, that's, I guess, what they're gonna do. They're gonna design the dragons clothing, and the faces not even resemble their original design, but whatever. Spyro looks good, and that's what's most important. And his voice is going to take some getting used to. When I heard him say, "You're a toast," and something like, "Bring it on," it sounded a little odd, because I'm not used to Tom Kenny being the voice of Spyro. I'm used to the original voice of Spyro, because I played that one more and only played a little bit of the third one, and at that time I didn't even know it was the third one. I just remember playing a Spyro game where I got to play as a kangaroo for a little bit, and then we brought the game back, because I think that's when we were just renting games. So anyway, I'm more familiar with the original voice of Spyro, but Tom Kenny sounds good. When he says those lines of Spyro, it sounds like a young boy is saying them. You know, and I feel like if it's Spyro, I really like his design. I especially like what he did with the mohawk, where if you look especially at the Reignited Trilogy logo, it is more thick, and it kind of sticks out a bit more from his head. So I think that looks nice. It looks really cool. And if anything, Reignited Spyro is how I wish Legend Spyro looked. If you look at some of the artwork for Legend of Spyro, he had a bit more of a classic Spyro influence to him, especially on the loading screen for the first game. And for whatever reason, they just did not stick to that design. And especially if you look at the box art of the original Legend of Spyro game, and you look at the back, it shows some earlier build of the game, probably a beta, where the model is different. He has more of a cocky look on his face, and it just reminds me more of the classic Spyro versus the final design they went with. So Reignited Spyro looks really good. He's kind of what I just wish Legend went with, but it didn't. So anyway, I just think this is really awesome, and I am willing to bet we are going to get a Switch version. I honestly think, you know, it just makes sense, because the Crash Insane Trilogy did really good. We're getting a Switch version of that in September, I think. No, I think it's July. Yeah, I think it's July. We're going to get the Crash one. And then I saw a leak on the Nintendo UK website that Spyro Reignited Trilogy was already being listed for Switch. So it is coming, we just don't know when. That's how I see it. Some people think, oh, this is so much of crap, you know, it doesn't matter that the UK Nintendo website, linked it, and then they immediately took it down. That's really suspicious to me, you know. So to me, that says it was a leak, it was an accident, and they put that we are getting it at some point on Switch. We just don't know when. So I'm looking forward to it. One issue, well, not one, I'm gonna list a few issues I have. The music for the opening of the trailer sounded really good. It sounded like the original Spyro with a really heavy emphasis on the bass and the snare, you know, which is 90s. A lot of 90s video games, TV shows, a lot of music back then just had a really strong emphasis on the bass and the snare drums. So to have that in just the trailer, just the opening trailer for the Reignited Trilogy was really cool, and I really hope they keep that up. Because I heard Dark Hollow, and that immediately killed my hype just a little bit, because any Spyro fan will probably tell you that the music of Spyro is a big part of his identity, especially the classic Spyro games. That's what made him stand out, because I don't really remember any other soundtrack sounding like Spyro, and even to this day, I don't really hear anything that sounds like Spyro. That's what makes him so unique, in addition to playing as a dragon, which I feel like is pretty rare for video games too. So Dark Hollow sounds really cool, has a really nice atmospheric remix of the level theme, but they cut out the bass, the snare, and the electric guitar part. So that worries me. I feel like what they should have done is a nice hybrid. Keep that atmospheric vibe we're going for, but then at one point, let it get a little louder. And then that's when you kick in the bass and the snare and the electric guitar part from the original version. But they didn't do that, so I'm worried. I'm worried about that. And they had a nice little touch with the bongos for the atmospheric part, so that was nice, but I'm really worried that they're not going to keep that original vibe of Spyro with the music. If anything, I hope there's just an option to toggle between the original and the remastered version or whatever. Because even if Spyro is an old 90s IP, the PlayStation is still CD quality. To this day, it still sounds really good in my opinion. So I feel like they didn't have to remaster it. It could have been, you know, left alone. It would sound just as good. I was hoping they were going to go more with the route where they just recreate the original song, but you know, with better sound quality, better instrument quality, but whatever. So I'm just hoping they don't mess with the music too much. That's a really big part of Spyro, in my opinion. His voice is gonna take some getting used to, because I'm used to the original voice of Spyro. Let's see. I don't like Nestor. I hope they change the design a bit more before September, but you know, who knows, whatever. If they don't, whatever. It's gonna piss me off, but I'll get used to it. From what I've seen, it just looks really good. He looks like he's gonna control good. He looks like he's just gonna play just like the original Spyro, but you know, just better, and that's what we want in a remaster or a remake, which I want to clarify. This is a remake, not a remaster. Everyone's calling this the Spyro remaster or whatever, and it's not. I've actually seen the difference between them. Like, I looked at the definition, and a remaster is what we got in Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD for Wii U, where pretty much all they really did was probably just the lighting. No, not even probably. You can tell, side-by-side comparison. They just adjusted the lighting a bit more and toned it down in the HD remaster, and they updated the textures. But that's really it. That's why it's a remaster. A remaster just gives it a fresh coat of paint, HD look, that's it. A remake is when you completely remake the game from the ground up, brand new engine, brand new graphics, brand new lighting, completely recreated from scratch. And that's what the Reignited Trilogy is, that's what the Crash Insane Trilogy is, that's what that one new Final Fantasy VII remake for the PS4 is. They completely used a brand new one, they completely remade it from the ground up for new current modern day consoles. That's what a remake is, because you are remaking the game. remaster. It's just a fresh coat of paint. It looks nice and pretty. And maybe it might, make the music a bit better. That's really it. So this is the remake, not a remaster. And I'm glad it's a remake, because that's what you gotta do. Like, I feel like if you're gonna try to recreate something from the past, go all out, use a brand new engine, brand new lighting, brand new models. That's how you're really gonna make this look for the modern generation, not a remaster. Now that depends on the game too. There are some games that can go and look really good with just a remaster, like the What Ends With You. But Twilight Princess, I feel like that should have been redone from the ground up, but whatever. So, I'm really looking forward to this. I've seen screenshots of the other worlds. And real quick, I also want to bring up for Spyro, I really hope, my concern is they do not censor the Norks and Peacekeepers, since everyone's such overly sensitive, whiny little babies now, to the point it's affecting our media where action cartoons are effectively dead, and violence in like cartoons and other media is dead because that's too intense for the kids now. I hope they do not screw this up with Spyro and they censor the Norks mooning you, because that's the point. It's just silly kid humor. As far as I know, I think that's still a thing even in cartoons now, right? Like, it's okay to have a cartoon character show their butt, but live action is censored for whatever dumb, stupid double standard. So hopefully in the remastered or remake, I'm used to everyone calling it a remaster. Hopefully in the remake they do not censor the Norks' butts and they moon you, and then you can go burn their butts on fire, or you can go, jab Spyro's horns into them, all that stuff. That's what makes Spyro fun. Spyro is a very empowering experience, especially when you're a little kid playing Spyro. It feels so good chasing after the Norks, then you burn their ass, or you jab Spyro's horns into the Norks. It's cool. Spyro is cool, especially when you're a little kid, being this badass little kid dragon who's beating up basically everybody, and he's practically unstoppable. So I'm really hoping that they don't, screw with that and just let the Norks try to taunt you and moon you, and then you kill them, And the thieves look good. I think they look fine, but it's sort of like this one comment I saw someone post on YouTube, which I agree with, because I feel like it was obvious, but whatever. The thieves don't literally have a black as coal, black as the night sky face. It's supposed to represent that the blue strands of cloth they're wearing, that it's overlapping the face, not that their face is black. The cloth is casting a shadow over the face. We're not supposed to know what their face looks like. But hey, whatever. That's just what they chose to do, and give him literally a black, weird, plastic almost texture to his skin. But hey, it makes him look kind of creepy looking. Some people think it's the stuff of nightmares, that they look really, really weird and disturbing in the new HD version. But hey, if anything, that should motivate people to want to kill them even more, so I'm actually kind of okay with it. But anyway, this is really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more about the Reignited Trilogy, and here's hoping that a Switch port comes really soon, maybe a few months after September, at the latest, maybe early next year, but I'm willing to bet we're gonna get one really soon after the trilogy is officially released. Some people are even speculating, by the way, that Spyro might even make it into the next Smash game, Smash 5. I don't know about that, we'll see. Anyway, this is Windfire going away. I'll see you all next time. Bye.